Okay, hello. Welcome to episode 1 of our new podcast. Ethan over here. I'm Joe.
What up?
And we're starting a new podcast. We're going to call it Actually Reselling. We're going to talk about reselling. We're both full-time resellers. Talk about eBay, talk about the news, talk about our sales and just what's going on. And also maybe a little more of an emphasis on health and exercise. That's something we're both into. So, I don't know. Ethan, you want to say hi?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, super excited, man. Just all the stuff we care about, actually reselling. We'll try and be a little bit focused. We throw our health stuff in there. We love fitness. So, what are you if you're not a healthy body? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all in pursuit of what our full-time job is, and I think what I would consider my career at this point. Like, I'm gonna try to ride this thing out, this whole reselling thing, until I can hit my retirement number. And like, health is gonna play a large factor in that. I'm hitting 40 pretty soon. In fact, I got a birthday coming up in a week. I'm gonna be 39.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel so lucky. I'm like so lucky to be here and like have the health that I have. But I mean, it doesn't happen by accident. Like, you got to work, especially as you get older, man. I'll tell you what.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I pulled a muscle sitting on the couch yesterday. It was a bad deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, I felt falling asleep on the couch what gave me the worst back injury of my entire life. Like, falling asleep in a weird position, man. Yeah, it's not a joke. And it's really just about flexibility. I had some overworked muscles in my back, like we're constantly stabilizing. I realized I'm constantly bending over and then lifting back up. And that's just using those lower back muscles constantly instead of just like doing a squat. It's like I was basically just doing what everyone says not to do, like lift with your back with a jerking, twisting motion. It's just like all day. And I'm lifting these big, heavy bins that I list my stuff, my inventory into. And those can be 40 pounds sometimes. So yeah, it's just I've worked more on just like lifting with my knees, with my legs, basically not with my knees, hopefully, but more of those big movers, your quads and your hamstrings and stuff. Just like squatting down instead of just bending over with my back all the time. But, man, it's hard.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about some news. We'll talk about our sales numbers, give you guys an idea of like what we're selling and stuff. Our big topic, though, it's a little phrase we made up, I think. Let us know if we're wrong. But we're going to talk about reseller childhood. So we're both big fans of a YouTuber named Ramit Sethi. He does finance stuff. And the thing we really love about Ramit's content is he's talking to these couples about their finances. And more than anyone else we've ever seen, he takes this kind of like therapeutic approach, like he's their therapist. It's so nice. Like, we kind of want to like look at reselling through a little bit of that lens, see if we can apply some stuff to that. So we're gonna go back to our reseller childhoods and see if we have any takeaways from back then we can apply now. So
ready to get into, I love that.
Yes,
Ramit Sethi, an amazing YouTube channel. I especially love his interviews with couples, where it's the dynamics of two people in a long-term relationship and finance and talking openly about a lot of stuff that just in America you just don't see that often. So yeah, pretty refreshing, I think.
All right,
cool. Should we get into the news or should we get into our recent sales on eBay first? What do you think?
I'm going to talk about the news real quick. I only have the one thing, I think. So I actually wanted to talk about the automatic feedbacks being rolled out, because I think generally everyone loves it. Everything I can see, everyone seems super happy, which of course you're getting, way more positive feedbacks. I think eBay said, so only 1 in 3 buyers were leaving feedback for transactions. So your feedback's going to triple. It's going to be mostly extra positive feedbacks.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Like, if you Google like this change, it's all like Reddit threads. Everyone's like super supportive of it. One thing that I haven't seen anyone talk about, though, is this is going to help like relatively bad resellers or just eBay sellers in general. Like, they're going to see the most benefit from this, because as their automatic feedbacks come rolling in from people that either like they luckily had a good transaction, or people that are just, they just don't care enough to come back and leave a review for whatever reason, like, they're going to get all those positive feedbacks and their score is going to like increase a lot more than someone who's like already at 99.5% positive.
Yeah.
It's like this one point I thought of, I don't have like a huge takeaway from it, but I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, definitely it's rewarding sellers who focus on quantity over quality, right? Yes, if you're just like, absolutely. If you're just basically just able to fulfill the basic orders and get enough, shipping tracked on time to get that automatic positive feedback, it's going to cover up a lot of that other stuff. Yeah, I totally see that. Yeah, I think, it is changing it a little bit. I think it's, but like, I mean, like, I don't know. If you look at what's eBay optimizing for, they're probably making more money on the transaction fees of more volume and rewarding more high volume sellers, and then necessarily just rewarding those sellers that go above and beyond and put the handwritten note, like maybe have a higher feedback percentage. And like I think I mentioned that on Justin Resells. Like I feel for those resellers because I think that it especially is hard for those people who are putting those handwritten notes in there and had all this feedback, and suddenly it's kind of getting diluted almost with all these automatic feedbacks flooding in. So it's you said only 33% of people were leaving feedback before, which means potentially people are getting like a 2-to-1 ratio of like automatic feedback to actual feedback. Yeah, it's really interesting.
So very interesting. And I understand. I think they're doing this just so that buyers have more trust in sellers as they can see how many transactions really are happening. So I know like before I got into eBay, and it seems like all my peers would have agreed with me on this, but like eBay is like a weird marketplace. Like, I don't know, just like a lot of like shady stuff. If you don't really understand it, it's kind of scary to like get into it. Yeah. It's like a little bit lawless. Like for someone that's coming from just shopping like at the mall or on Amazon or something. So
yeah. It is a little bit different. The return process is a little bit different than Amazon. Amazon is just so streamlined for returns. I find myself going to Amazon because I'm really disciplined about returning my items. And the Amazon process is just so streamlined. I get the return label immediately. And, there's a lot of eBay sellers like me that don't have automatic return labels turned on. So you can request a return, and then you got to wait 4 days for the return label to show up. And sometimes it's to a different spot. And eBay's it's different. It could use some streamlining there. Yeah, I wonder how that would work.
Yeah. I'm hoping this does, push a little bit more like diligence on the buyer's end. Maybe they have to do a little bit more research on their sellers and kind of continue to push like more of the transaction responsibility onto the buyer as opposed to like Amazon's approach of just giving them whatever it is they want.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'm loving it. I mean, overall, I appreciate it. I'm not somebody who necessarily is putting those handwritten notes in, but I am selling 30 or 35 items a day pretty consistently, and it's helping a ton. For those, I get 1 to 2 negative feedback on whatever the window is, 30 days or 90 days. It's usually 1 or 2, and it's just helping to further dilute it because most of the time my customers are super happy. Yeah, and I don't know, I got a negative recently. Somebody was really unhappy about a lot of 2 consoles, and I remember they were claiming there was damage that wasn't shown in the pictures, and I was like, okay, can you tell me what damage? And they talked about it, and I was like, okay, I circled it in the picture of the original listing. I was like, here it is. And they're like, well, I'm still not happy. And I'm like, okay, well, you can return it if you want, but I think some people are just fishing for a partial refund, and that's what they want. Like they get mad when they don't get it.
I think I saw that guy. Was he in the stream?
Yes, it was the same guy.
I saw that guy.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, it was a very similar situation. I believe it was the same one. It was a lot of 2 Xboxes, and it was just like, it was just exactly what I said. And I said, yeah, you're welcome to return it. We definitely accept returns for a full refund. I'm not going to give you money off for giving you the thing in the condition that it shows in the picture. Maybe, and again, with parts repairs, sometimes it's not as fixable as you want, and people are just like coming up with reasons, but that's part of it. I think that's changing now too. I don't know if it's changed. Yeah, but parts repair is supposed to be getting reduced to 3 days, a 3-day window for returns in the parts repair category, where kind of more like Mercari or something, where like if the buyer basically just has to verify that it was as advertised, but you can't test it or try to repair it for 30 days, which happens all the time for me. I sell a lot of parts repair stuff.
Nice. All right, so you want to get into the sales talk here?
I have a little bit of news. Ooh. I mean, did we want to talk about it? And then there's a new tax on Texas resellers. Basically, the Texas comptroller has decided that eBay fees are now taxable. So we have to pay taxes on eBay fees now if you live in Texas. I don't know. It's going to be a few $100. I don't know, $1,000, something like that. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. It's not fun to pay extra taxes, but I don't know. Overall, the tax burden here is pretty low. So I don't think there's too many Texans complaining about the overall tax burden. It's all fair. So
yeah, it's like I know Justin Resells had his little video about it, and I just compared your numbers to his numbers. I just did like some rough calculation, like based off your 90-day total, and I was like, okay, I think Joe might be looking at like $2,000 extra in tax from this.
Yeah, cool.
Super rough number. Don't hire an accountant.
Yeah, not fun, right? Good to know, but I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Like, what are you gonna do?
What's that?
Like, if you can't control it, what are you going to do? No point in worrying about it.
Just make more money. I'm just like focus more on listing. And when I get stressed about money, I'm just like, well, just kind of go back to work. I mean, I got a pretty simple solution. It works every time. Just list more quality items. Yeah. But I did have something interesting I wanted to share that I don't think I've shared on any of my videos yet from the recent eBay event that I was at. I was talking to some of the other eBay sellers, including some guys that are in some kind of like newer programs that eBay's offering. So I talked to a guy who's into the streetwear and fashion and sneakers specifically. Mm-hmm. And he said that as part of the authentication now, eBay is offering to just keep your shoes at their warehouse and then just ship them right to the customer when they buy it.
Okay.
Which is just not only streamlines it from your end, it basically is making eBay work like FBA, where you can just send your high-end shoes in and they just sit on an eBay warehouse. But now your customer is getting it in like 1 to 2 days and it's authenticated.
Yeah.
And he said the only problem is customers were suspicious. They were like, it was showing up like the next day sometimes if they're close to that eBay warehouse. And they were like, how could this have had even time to be authenticated? And he's like, it should be like kind of advertised. Like this is not only like express shipping, but this is kind of like a pre-authenticated thing. Because people are like suspicious immediately. Like it's too good to be true. It's supposed to be sent to eBay's authentication. But he said otherwise people are like super happy. This stuff's showing up quickly. And he's happy because he can just ship off his high-end items and then not have to store it. So just like pretty cool that they're offering that at all. And like to imagine that eBay would offer some kind of FBA option for like electronics or something would just be the dream. Yeah. Just send in a whole box of controllers and be like, you guys deal with this now. Oh my God. I would like, there would be no limit to my listing because like I would be able to list it and then immediately get it out of my life. As soon as I catalog it, I could just ship it off instead of having it stored in my garage.
Yeah, that is perfect. I was thinking about that yesterday. Like I just watched David Palaio dropped a video about his massive buy he made with his new warehouse, getting like 35,000 pounds of clothes.
I know, unfathomable.
Huge, yeah. And even with them missing 12,000 pounds, it's just it's a monstrous pile. But there's a part of it he's pulling out like some super high end stuff. He's like showing off some like Prada sweatpants, like some Louis Vuitton something. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, it's like as a buyer, if you're looking at this stuff, because he mentioned he's like, I'm not sure if it's authentic yet. We're gonna have to look at it. It's like the buying process for super high end stuff. It's like you just kind of have to hope that it goes to the authentication program and that it passes. And if it doesn't, well, like your money left your account already. Probably like a week went by without you getting an update, and then just to find out it's fake, and then you get your money back and nothing happened. Like that's not a good experience. Totally. So I was hoping they would do a program like that because that already exists with like StockX and Goat. They already do.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah. StockX and Goat, they do the same thing.
Yep. Huh? So they do like high end sneakers and stuff, and I've done that before, and it's exactly what you said. You just send it in, they check and make sure, and then it's listed on their platform, and they ship it out for you. So
yeah, cool. Cool, dude. Nice. That's a nice little news segment. All right, cool. Yeah, all right. We talked about the news. That's what's happened in the world of eBay. All right. Should we talk about some sales?
Yes, sir.
I know usually I am not a reminiscer. I had to remember how to do this to go back into my previous orders. I just sold it by like highest over the last 90 days just to see like what are my big money makers here. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
How about you? What are you going to pull up? What are you interested in as far as like recent sales?
So I know we talked about doing weekly sales since this was the first episode, and I know a lot of people might not know who I am or like what to expect from me sales wise. I'd give like a little bit of recap of how I've been doing over the last like 6 months. So if you don't know me, I mostly sell clothing, right? I'll pre-own stuff, just going out thrifting, whatever. I get a little bit online, but so I went and I pulled some numbers. So this quarter versus last quarter, I am up 29.8% for a gross sales of $32,334, net $21,100 something.
For the quarter. Okay, cool.
Nice. That's this quarter versus last quarter. I was missing it was like 85 days. It wasn't 90 days. So missing a couple days on there, but that's about where we're at. So my 90-day total is like 32,000-ish right now. And then I also compared this year. So year to date. So like January 1st through, this was like September 20 something when I did this. I'm up 29.7% again for a gross sales of 88,528, net sales of 57,654.
Nice.
So that's where we're sitting at. That is like the baseline. So it's been all around for me good. I've been taking things a lot more seriously. As I told you, I've been getting my fiance a little bit more involved. So she's been like taking some pictures for me. She's doing some shipping.
Nice.
That has been so cool, dude. Spending more time like actually listing stuff. Oh my gosh. So good. And she's actually faster at taking pictures than me, I think. So,
Dang, already. That's awesome.
yeah, that's been great.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, it's good to get, so good to work on that together. And just, it's good. It's cool to feel empowered personally. I mean, maybe not for everybody, but just to know you can like actually make money from your home. It's just so cool. Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, love it. All right, so what are you working with, man? What do you got?
Well, all right. So the last 7 days, I'm at just under 5,000, 4,978. So I'm trying to get back to my baseline, or what I feel comfortable at with us as a family, and like putting money away is I'd like to get back to $1,000 a day. So that would be a 7,000 over the last 7 days. So I'm at 5,000. I'm kind of pulling it back up, and I think within the next week or two, I'll be at averaging $1,000 a day. And my 90-day total is 58,000. So I mean, just not where I mean, I'm grateful. It's fine. We're paying the bills, but I think that's getting close to like paying the bills for us and like paying the mortgage and all that. So feeling inspired. And I think I know I got it in me. It's just about focused work, man. It's about doing the work. So I'm excited. And I've been I don't know, balancing a lot of things. This year has also been a year of YouTube as well, and trying to balance that. You know, I do try to still work on eBay while I'm recording videos, but there is definitely productivity lost in setting up the camera and then uploading it to YouTube. And even with the minimal editing that I do, if you would even call it editing, I think it's just dragging it into the timeline is what I do with my videos. But so I think overall good. I'm feeling so hopeful. Like I know that when I put in the work, I mean, I have had one day over $1,000 already this week, and so it's good. Listen, a lot of good items. Did a lot of good controllers today. A lot of stuff on the store. So.
Do you think that your goalposts have moved recently? I feel like when you started making videos, I remember you talking about doing $1,000 a day, and you were like, that's way more than we need. And like, you felt super good about that. Now you're talking about it like, that's like your baseline. Like, that's where I need to feel comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, things have gone up. I mean, life has gotten more expensive. Like our bills have gone up. The kids are older. And so I know now that I know that I'm capable of it, it's just about, like I hold myself to a super high standard. I mean, yes, to answer your question, yes, I think I'm really hard on myself. And now that I know that I can do that, I want to do that. And also everything else, YouTube and like teaching my kids co-op. And, you know, like tomorrow all day we're at school, like from like 9 to 4, we're like, I'm teaching and we're like volunteering and stuff. Like, it's hard to keep up that pace. Whereas when I was like really doing $1,000 a day or more, it was like all I was doing kind of, and that wasn't the healthiest thing either. So I think I am holding myself to a super high standard. I think I can still do it, but I'm going to have to be crafty about it. Like you can't just keep banging your head against the wall forever. Like I know that I can work. I used to tell that to myself that in my last business, I'd be like, I can work harder than anybody. And like, you can, but not forever. Like everybody's got to rest. And so I think it's good to be able to rely on that when you need to, but not as a strategy. That's like a fallback. I think the strategy is like work smarter, like figure out what you're good at and like where your leverage is. So I think there's just so many areas in my business that could be improved still. And Heather too. My wife is like always figuring out new ways to add value to the business too. So I think that number is a reflection of the two of us. And I know she's adding a lot more recently too. So I think that number is going to be coming up from both of our effort as well. So
it's cool. You're hungry, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like I have the opposite of procrastination. Like, I feel like it's going to be harder tomorrow. Like, I need to get it done today. Like, I feel like the work, if I'm thinking about some work that needs to get done, I feel like this sense of urgency constantly that I think I struggle with in a way to like, sometimes it's hard to just shut that off and like play board games with the kids. I think I can still do it, but I just, when I like take it, sometimes when I take a step back, I think I do have like, I need to get it done. I don't know. It's like macro. I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't know. It's like a mixture of patience and impatience. It's kind of hard to describe. Like, I don't mind if it takes a while, but like I need to be making progress every day. I feel like tomorrow I'm only getting older. Like I feel like I'm only going to have less energy. Like it's not fun to talk about. And like that's not always true because I do think you can build fitness and you can build strength and endurance. And so I'm always working on it. But yeah, I just feel like, yeah, I might as well get it done today. And if I can do it, yeah. So now I got a goal. I think I can do it.
Yeah, growth is hard,
I'm
man.
smarter than I was last year. So we'll see.
Yeah, growth is hard. Like
Yeah.
in my opinion, best growth is always slow, steady growth.
Yeah.
It's hard though, especially like when you find that motivation to do it, you just want to go get it all done.
I know. And it's like, I'm kind of tricking myself into being like, no, I just want to keep the number the same as last year. But it's like, I want to keep the number the same while increasing all these other areas of my life that like I really needed to increase. Like I started YouTube in January of this year because I needed hobbies. Like I wanted friends. Like I'm so glad we've been able to connect. Like this is just like an absolute manifestation of that. But last year at this time, I was probably just like alone in my room working with nothing on the schedule as far as social life or anything for months. And that's not the healthiest way to go about it. Like I got great numbers and now it's hard to match those numbers. So again, I think I'm getting smarter. I'm listing a lot of big lots. I'm looking at these previous eBay sales. I actually went to my previous highest sales, and it's a lot of bulk consoles. So I'll list a lot of consoles under the same listing, which a lot of eBay sellers are afraid to do at all. But this has been a way that I've been able to make a lot of money over the last couple of years of just like from the same buyer. I'll just list a Nintendo Wii console tested and working. And I just take a picture of one that's like on the low end of what I'd consider acceptable condition for however many I have. And then the listing just builds. And often it gets sold to Amazon resellers or obviously somebody else who wants these tested and working consoles. But that's what a lot of these top orders are. It's just multiples of these tested and working consoles. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. So by bulk listing, you're saying it's like it's a listing for a single console. You just have multi-quantity available, and then they're coming along and selecting a higher quantity.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have every one of my listings to charge shipping again multiple times, and that's just part of the negotiation. But they can still offer an amount off. I mean, usually there's some kind of offer there, but yeah, I mean, those are just like big money making items, all from like $200 to $300, even a couple over $300. Pretty interesting.
It's nice.
Yeah, PS3s, PS4s, Nintendo Wii's is what it's looking like. Just tested and working consoles. But if I have multiple, somebody just comes and clears me out. Nice. Or there's this, or the Kinects, the Xbox Kinects, because I'll process 30 or 40 of those, either the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One Kinect cameras.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, and somebody will just come clear me out. It's either I think there's people that bundle them who are like under the eBay refurbished program, or an Amazon reseller who's selling a full bundle. As I'm just selling them like tested and working, but just the bare Kinect camera. Mm-hmm. Or there's these there's a husband and wife, I think, and they have this this company. They're eBay resellers, but they take my Kinect cameras and they add them to these gadgets. And their YouTube or their eBay seller name is like Paranormal Activity or something. And they turn these Xbox Kinect cameras into ghost hunting devices with a built-in screen and a battery. And they're using this IR camera as part of the ghost detector.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they'll come clear me out. And they sell these things for a couple $100. These like kind of whatever gadgets that it looks like Ghostbusters stuff. It's like awesome. Yeah,
that's amazing. Because then if it doesn't work, then like you're just happy because there's no ghosts in your house. It's like you can't get a return on it.
Win-win.
That's awesome. I need to see that store. That's hilarious.
I think it's called Paranormal Equipment. I think, or something like that. Not Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Equipment. Yeah.
I got my notepad.
Yeah. They're a big repeat customer of mine. Like I often, they're like, contact me when you have more, because they often are sad when I sell them to someone else. Like, oh, we needed more, but somebody else got it first.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Man, I remember back when I first started reselling, I don't know if this is still the case, but there was like voice recording devices. And there's like certain ones that like the paranormal community were like, these ones work really good. Like those like select models were worth like $300.
Oh wow,
that was awesome back then.
Oh, that's great. Well, cool. We got over the news. We got over some recent seller sales. What's next? Sir. What's the next segment? What should we do?
It's our fitness bit where we make some fitness goals for the week. So awesome. I don't know if you have decided this. I think I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I have like one ongoing. I gave myself like a pre-goal that was just to 3 times a week go into the gym, and I'm building this in when I go to the post office. So I ship my orders Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and my post office is pretty close to the gym. So I'm just making sure every time I go drop off my packages at the post office, I go to the gym after. So I've held true to that goal. And the new goal I'm going to add for this week, So I got my dusty old resistance band out of the basement. I'm just gonna start doing some forearm like curls, just when I'm like sitting here doing something. I don't know, but I'm not a huge fan of doing forearm work at the gym, really. Like unless it's already part of the lift or something. But I'm not doing like the dedicated like the little wrist curls or nothing. So I'm gonna start doing that with that resistance band just while I'm doing something else. So just got way I'm trying to build the forearms a little bit more. So
Love it, dude. That's awesome. All right, cool. Yeah, so we're thinking about doing week challenges. We're just gonna check in and see how the last week went, I guess. And yeah, I actually have a mobility goal for myself and a fitness challenge for myself as well.
okay.
Just like some basic things, also things I can do here in my room. And it sounded like, so for that first goal where you're talking about going to the gym every time you pass by it, have you read Atomic Habits? Are you familiar with that book at all?
Yes.
It seems similar to that idea, right? You're like tying it to another thing in your life or something. What is that idea?
Habit stacking, I believe.
Habit stacking. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I love that. So my habit stacking is I have this device next to my bed called a Castle Flex. And it's basically just a fancy way to do this stretch. You can also call the towel stretch. And you can just do it in any hotel room with just a nice bath towel. And you can do it lying on your back on your bed. And you basically just have one leg down. You raise one leg up, and then you just wrap that towel around the front of your foot. And you just kind of are pulling that and just stretching it. And it just stretches your hamstrings and your glutes. And for me, my foot as well, especially this one, I like this. You have to put your heel right here, and it kind of like you spread your feet out on this thing. And so as you're pulling, so I'm pulling on this bar. So this is just an enhanced version of that towel stretch where I put one foot inside that strap, and you can kind of roll it up to adjust like where your leg is and what kind of stretch you're getting. It's just awesome. So when you're stretching low, if your foot's low, you're stretching more of your foot and your calf. And then as you raise it up, you're stretching more of your hamstring. For me, I am struggling with plantar fasciitis. So that's the whole reason that I'm even doing this is like, even when I get my 10,000 plus steps in, I'm starting to feel it in my feet. There's a lot of tight muscles in my feet. And I found that this is one of those stretches. If I just hold on to it for a minute or two until finally you can kind of feel those muscles relax. Because I think I'm on my feet all day. And so there's a lot of muscles in there and that are just tight and just overworked. So that's the stretching goal that I have is every night. This is next to my bed, and so every night as I'm vibe coding on my MacBook most nights now, I'm just like working on a random website idea or something, and I'm going to be doing this stretching as Claude is like working on the next task I've given it.
Okay. Cool.
So then and then I have a stretch one too. Do you mind if I share the stretch? Sorry, not the stretch, the strength goal as well. Yeah. So there was a book a long time ago I loved called The 4 Hour Body, which was Tim Ferriss's second book after the 4 Hour Work Week. Okay. And in it, he gave himself a challenge to grow like some insane amount of muscle in like 30 days. It was like 25 pounds or something. And a lot of it was just about like he was kind of underfed before, and I'm sure he was just eating a huge caloric surplus and all that. But what he focused on was time under tension being one of the most efficient ways to grow muscle. He's like, basically, if you can focus on maximizing the time that your muscles are actually under stress, that's if you can just accumulate seconds or minutes of that. So doing like 20 bicep curls really quickly might actually produce way less muscle than just doing 5, but like as slow as you possibly can. And so I like to do that with push-ups, because if you do a push-up super slow, you're actually just kind of doing a plank as well, because it can take him. Sometimes I'll try to take like a full minute for a single push-up, and the whole time you're like kind of shaking a little bit because I am still working on all those stabilizer muscles. Like my chest is not super strong, that's why I'm trying to work on it. So just getting a few of these super slow reps in of push-ups, even just like 3 to 5 minutes of just like push-ups as slow as you can, instead of going for a rep range. If you just like, and it also forces you to like really build and like focus on those weak points that you might just kind of power through with a normal rep of whatever it is. You know, often along that pathway, whether it's a bicep curl or a push-up or a bench press, it's working different parts of your chest or different parts of your bicep depending on where you are, and you can kind of overcompensate. But when you're going super slow and there's no momentum with whatever you're doing, like you really start to realize like there's differences and you are using different muscles. It's interesting. It's just a cool way to like, especially for a new or newer muscle. I'm bad at push-ups in general, and I feel weak in that. And so it just forces you to like activate it, like get those nerves activated. and you can't cheat on any of it. Like you really like every step of whatever workout you're trying, you gotta go super slow. So I think he called it like the super slow method. I'm sure he borrowed it from somebody else, but I've always had fun applying that to like other things like pull-ups or something too. Just like go as slow as you can. It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I've been focusing a lot on like getting just like the deepest stretch on any rep I'm doing now. That really changed like the way I work out, I feel like. So
love it.
Like I love mixing a new approach in. Like it does something. It like refreshes it. You know, like if you're getting at the gym or working out or something, finding a different.
I think your muscles love it too. I think they love like new stuff getting thrown at it. Like that's when they really get that stimulus to grow and respond. Like, I think I'm all about it, man. That's awesome.
All right, good.
Okay, that's our exercise segment. Excellent. Great. Is it time to get into our actual topic?
It is.
Nice. In true podcast fashion, we've buried the lead. What are we, like 45 minutes in? Like we're actually getting to the title of the podcast.
Yeah.
The reselling childhood. So something that Ramit Sethi, again, this podcaster, and I guess he's more than that. He's kind of a finance guru type guy, and he sells courses and all that, but he talks to people, and he often asks people in the finance realm, he'll ask them, what language did you hear about money when you were growing up? You know, was it money doesn't grow on trees, or was it if you love someone, you'll let them borrow money? Or, I mean, like, there's just so many things. Or like money's for those people, but not for us. Or money shouldn't be wasted. Or, you know, like there's so many things that like people just grow up hearing different fundamental things about money. And I wonder, I mean, reselling it is tied to money. And so I'm sure that will come into it, but just in a greater sense, we were kind of interested in kind of like going through our reseller childhood of what did we grow up hearing about, you know, reselling, I guess, or business ownership and finance. I mean, it all kind of comes into it, but I mean, I'd love to hear kind of what thoughts came up for you as you were riding through your childhood.
So I went ahead and I took myself through this like exercise, I guess. So I figured the whole point of this would be to look back and see like what like the circumstances of my life, like when I started reselling, how those like caused me to develop certain beliefs or habits, and like evaluate these beliefs and habits to see like maybe they served me back then, but they don't serve me anymore. So basically I came to the conclusion, I started reselling back in 2021. So I was in college, I was in the computer science program, and it was not going well. I was not doing good. This was like the first time I faced like real adversity in my life. It was so tough. It's like, I never had to study. I didn't fail anything and never failed classes. I was in AP classes. So I reached this point where I was either just going to have to like restart from scratch if I wanted to do computer science, or drop it and change to a different major. I felt like a total failure. So what I ended up doing, I just started reselling and I loved it. I was like, okay, I changed my major to general studies, and I have to like justify this to myself in some way, just like feel good about myself. So I think what I end up doing is I start telling myself like how much I don't care about money. I'm like, I just want to like have this lifestyle where I have total control over my free time. And like, I don't have to like answer to some boss and like give my life away to work. And like, there was a part of me that believed that, but I think it definitely got way overblown by just like feeling like I had to like protect myself from feeling this like pain and hurt from feeling like I had failed at school. So like, as long as I've been reselling, like I've not given any part of reselling like my best effort. Like, so I'm looking back now, like if I was given, you know, max effort, or I was setting aside time to like try and figure out what I wanted to do with this, instead of looking at it like, you know, it's just something I do. I don't live for any part of this. Like, you know, I had to give myself this story where I wasn't doing it for the money, because that would have made me a failure back in the school front. But like, it's okay to like want money. Money makes like, you know, good things happen in life, right? Like hobbies cost money. Going out doing fun things costs money. I gave myself this view where like, you know, really giving a full like go, putting my all effort into reselling would have been like antithetical. Like it just wouldn't have combined with my life. I would have had to accept that I had failed somewhere else to actually give reselling a shot. So now I'm looking at this like, it's okay for me to like want to be about the money for reselling, like push myself to achieve some financial goal. So I think that's also part of why my numbers are going up a little bit more. I'm actually trying to make money. I'm okay with the fact like I dropped out of the computer science program. I'm okay with that now. I'm not going to keep letting that hurt me now by keeping me like held down success wise and reselling now too. So
that's so hard. And it's hard because I feel like, eBay reselling is full of micro failures and like items that you realize you'd never list again and strategies that you'd I mean, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to not get caught up in that stuff. Yeah. And like now, I mean, man, anybody can be a computer science scientist. Like, dude, I'm on my second website. It's already published. I've got 2 websites built. In my, I got that $200 a month plan from Claude, and I'm building websites with full tech stacks and security and like advanced features. Like, dude, the whole game is changing. It's crazy. Yeah. And you can just be like, how do I do this? And, it's so cool. I'm doing a helmet comparison shopping website now for bike helmets. That's my second product now. Cool. It's already launched. Because there's this, I just not to get too aside, but I got to give it a plug because like Virginia Tech is basically the only place in the world that is objectively testing the safety of bicycle helmets. And just because they're expensive doesn't mean they actually protect your head. And they have this whole dummy head and they drop it from all these different angles and test the impacts. And they give these helmets a rating. They have both a numerical rating where lower is better, or it's a star rating of like 0 to 5 stars. And they basically only recommend helmets that are 4 or 5 stars. And sometimes there's some cheaper helmets that make it, even helmets that are under $100. But also you see these really expensive, fancy helmets that are like totally like 0 stars or 1 star. And you realize maybe aren't giving the protection that you hope for. Like maybe they're meeting some minimum standard, but there's no testing beyond that. And this is the one company. It's literally like you get a 20 or you get a 6, and lower is better, basically. So you want this low number of a safety score. But it's fascinating. And so basically all this data is published on their website, but there's no links to Amazon or like where to buy it or anything or the current price. And basically all the ones that are reasonably priced are already sold out on Amazon. So I'm having to go and basically I'm trying to compile where is it in stock around the internet, who are the trusted retailers, and also try to get affiliate income along the way. But dude, you just like all you have to do is just explain what you want to do to the Oracle, and I'm just like, and I paid $11 for the domain. It's helmetscore.com. Like it's already live, and I'm still getting like pending approval for Amazon API access, so I can actually get the actual Amazon images as well and populate the site. Because if you're actually an Amazon API member, which I got approved for the first step already, I had to like take a picture of my driver's license and stuff. But dude, I don't know. That's part of why it's so hard to maintain my eBay focus right now. Is I feel like I'm discovering the second career, and like both of these sites that I built have some kind of like money making potential through affiliate links. Like it's pretty interesting. Yeah. And some of these sites, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's a really interesting opportunity. So we'll see. Not too much aside, but
that sounds really good.
It's fun, dude. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. Like what I do at night now. It's just like my creativity. Instead of like writing a journal, I'm like writing to this computer that's like always like, okay, let's try it out. It's like this constant companion who's like, all right, let's make your new idea a reality. Like I was basically searching for these helmets and I was copy pasting the titles and going into Amazon, and I was like, there should be a website for that. And I was like, yeah, there should be a website for that. And I built it in like 2 days. That's like 2 days of progress. So yeah, it's cool.
Good work.
Try not to let it get into my eBay time though. That's not ideal.
Yeah. All right. So how about we look back at your reseller childhood? How does that sound?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I realized I've been trading in my stuff since I can remember, as far as video games, which were like some of my most precious possessions. So I had the original Game Boy, the DMG-01 model, the gray one with like the green on green screen. And I loved that thing. And I had games that I would play, Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2 and 3. And there were just so many amazing games. And Link's Awakening, maybe one of my favorite games of all time on the Game Boy. Like still the music is just so good. And it's such a sad story. I have a hard time playing it now, even like the more recent remakes, because the whole thing is a dream. I mean, it's so sad because you like wake up. Like, anyway, it's an amazing story, but it's a sad Zelda game. But as a kid, I would always trade those games in to either GameStop, or we had a local place called Funkoland that I think was a chain around the West Coast, at least in California. I haven't heard about it much on this side of the country, but Funkoland was the place I used to go to. They had a really colorful banner, and they had games that you could test right there with a Super Nintendo in a little area. And I just have so many memories of just playing games for like an hour. My mom would just leave me there sometimes. Just amazing. And I would always trade in my games. And so you recognize there's some kind of trade in, right? Like I would have to trade in 2, 3, or 4 of my games sometimes in order to get the one game that I wanted. You recognize that's just like how it worked. I wish I knew about eBay. I could have started on eBay so long ago, but back then it was just going to video game shops. And I remember selling Pokemon cards to get Game Boy games as well. Like those were like my main currencies as a child, were like my Pokemon card collection, my binder, and my Game Boy games, and like my cartridges. And so I remember going to the mall and trading in Pokemon cards, and then going and taking that money and going to the video game store in the mall and buying some used video games. Including one time I remember selling Pokemon cards to get the Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color. And I was like, I can just play it virtually. And now I'm wishing I saved all those amazing Pokemon cards from the first generation. I got like a few bucks for it. But I think, and we grew up in a family with a lot of kids, and we had plenty of money for like awesome birthdays and Christmases, but stuff like fun stuff, I always recognized I was on my own. And so I couldn't wait to get a job. And when I got a job, where I wanted to go spend my money was thrift stores. And so like ever since I had a car, or a driver's license, or a permit, I was like driving to thrift stores. Just been one of my favorite things. I love a deal. I think it's part of it. I'm like the guy who's like, oh, that's a cool shirt. And I'm like, got it for $3. Like I have like this compulsion to like tell you how much I got it for.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's part of that in me. And once I figured out eBay could actually be a full-time gig, like I feel like that day I just decided like that's my new thing now. Like I just have to try that. Like it just seems so perfectly suited to me, and I love working from home. And so yeah, I mean, going to thrift stores and then eventually going to the Goodwill outlet for a couple of years was just the foundation of my business for so long. And so I already knew the good thrift stores, and I knew about electronics, and I was often searching things on eBay to see if it was worth it to keep, but it just took a while for me to unlock it. Like I could be a reseller. Like I don't have to only buy stuff that I'm using. I think I could sell it to somebody else if you can recognize the value in it. So one of my first main things, I was really motivated to get a better gaming computer. And so I just would look on Facebook Marketplace. I would look for nice gaming computers, and basically you have to like play the meta. So I learned to search for terms that were really broad, because I think the people didn't often know what they had, or like what it's just like a gaming computer that my son had, and now he's moved off to college. And it's like you got to look at the pictures and zoom in and like try to figure out how big the graphics card is to estimate how valuable it is, stuff like that. And I would basically just buy gaming computers. One of my first real ways to make some serious money reselling is I was also starting to do my thrift store routes and a little bit of the outlet. But buying gaming computers was just so fun for me, because I was motivated by the thrill of the hunt, because I wanted to upgrade my own gaming computer. And so if the one that I got had more RAM, I would take that RAM and I would just sell my old RAM sticks, or if it had a better graphics card or a better CPU and motherboard combo or whatever. And so my own computer became this like total shifting thing of just like all the best parts I could find. And I just found that so fun and satisfying, and kind of like helped me get started with that loop of feeling like I can put money into the system and put effort in and get that real reward out. And now I feel that from more basic things. Like it's almost like that was like the bartering system where I kind of needed to see stuff that I needed to use. And now I feel just as motivated, but just by the dollar amount. Like just the other day, I found a little Square reader terminal, and it sells for like $200. It's amazing. Like one of my best finds in a while. Just like it's like a little, it looks almost like a phone, but it's thicker on the back because it's got a little receipt printer built in. Oh, it's got a little credit card swiper on the side, like for a little Square reader terminal. And like it's amazing. And like I get such a thrill out of that. And I don't need to necessarily be using it. I know somebody else is going to use it, but like I'm thrilled by the numbers now. I think I've completed the loop where like I just need to look at my eBay total, and like that's fueling me in a similar way that I think as eBay was getting started, I wasn't really believing in it. And so it was fun to have something tangible to keep, which was like the parts of my gaming computer, like a little bit of a collector's mindset just for a little while to kind of get me started. And now I've had the same computer for years. I haven't updated anything on it in quite a while, but I think they kind of got the loop started.
You said you weren't believing in eBay for a little bit?
Not as much. I mean, because now I'm just like, money problems, list more items. Like that's as like as far as my internal monologue. I trust the system so much. I'm just like, I figured it out. And back then there was a lot more uncertainty, and like I wanted to kind of think about trying multiple platforms and multiple ways to source until I kind of figured it out. Like a lot reselling it's a lot of uncertainty, you know. But I think I'm just lucky enough to, like, now that I found something that works, you just gotta like keep doing that as long as you can. I'm selling junk. Like, man, the whole house smelled like rubbing alcohol today. I need to improve my ventilation. I have windows open in here, but still, it's just like cleaning controllers. It's just not fun. Maybe a warehouse with like nice tall ceilings one day, just for the smells, maybe. But yeah, I think I'm motivated by financial security. I think that's going to allow me to be more present for the rest of my life. Especially as my kids are getting older, and I just feel like that's only going to get harder. But now I just got so much fire to just like put money away for a rainy day. So just kind of riding that out. Like I'm really not motivated to buy anything. I got a couple new things for my bike. I'm going on a bike packing trip in a couple of days for my birthday with some friends. That'll be fun, but I don't know. I'm really not motivated by stuff. I just put money away. I think that's a pretty awesome goal right now. And then and then we'll see where we're at in a few years. I mean, just like, dude, the potential for eBay is amazing. Like, now that I know what my potential is, it's like addicting, right? Like that $1,000 a day is just such a nice round number, but it also led to like our best year ever as a family, like financially and a lot of other ways. And so, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do that, and also maintain some fun in the background. Some time to go camping on my bike, and some time to exercise and hang out and talk to you, and not feel like I need to fill every single moment with like productive work. I don't know. It's a balance, dude.
Yeah, no, I have to like build that off time in. I know if I don't build in that off time, whatever upcoming work hours I'm going to have, it's not going to be like fully fulfilled. I'm not going to be at like max potential. If I don't give myself a break, that 40 hours will turn into 30 hours worth of output. But
you're so much better at that, man. I think you have such a healthy perspective. Yeah.
I think that that mindset comes from like this belief I had where like, it's not all about the money. I just want the free time and stuff. It's like, I feel super sharp in that area. Like, I think I'm really great at valuing just like, going out and doing stuff, social time, hobbies, keeping myself from being burnt out. But, I still have yet to like see the part of my business where like I push myself to exceed and like reach new limits or like grow anything,
But you are. I think also you're hard on yourself, like I am. It may be in a different way, but like you have that balance. I mean, you can't do everything. I can't do everything either. And like I think that you are growing in a lot of ways in your personal life and your home and your relationships, and like I think you are expanding in a lot of ways. You got a YouTube channel. I mean, like, again, like you got to give yourself some credit there. I think it's just about like finding that balance. And I think that's one of those grown-up problems, is like, what is the balance there? It's not work forever, because in a lot of ways that what you said that you're trying to kind of change or grow out of in a way, or just like recognize that it's not the whole story, but like money isn't everything. I mean, but it is important. Like, we do live in a capitalist society, but like I think those are both ideas that we kind of have to hold at the same time. Of like, money is incredibly important in order to buy back our time, but at the end of the day, like, the point is to enjoy our time and not to just spend our time cranking widgets for the machine to like make the numbers go higher. Like, it's and it's the same with like self-improvement. Like, that's such a hard balance that I want to strike. Like, we're talking about these goals that we have, and I think hopefully it's born out of self-love, but it's hard to strike that balance of like, I love myself as I am, but also I want to change myself in some fundamental way. Like, I love myself as I am, but I want to lose X pounds or gain X pounds of muscle, but also I love myself as I am. Like, it's almost seem like opposing ideas, but you kind of have to have both to keep it healthy. Because I think that it's more like a balance, which is just like an annoying word. Like, I'm more of like an optimizer. Like, we've talked about like min-maxing before, right? Of like, I just want to figure out the number that I can maximize. Like, that's easier sometimes. And it's hard to hold multiple things at once, but in a way, that's what we're doing with our lives, of like, we're balancing these multiple things, these relationships and jobs and like, and health, and they're all important. Like, they all feed each other. Like, I think last year I kind of took the easy way out of like, the most important thing I should be doing is just working. And then my relationship suffered and my health suffered. And it's just, and then my work suffered as well, because I was sick and I was, it's just, it's an interesting balance. But I think the optimal point is somewhere in the middle. And that's where it starts to feel more like an art than a science. It's like, it's a multivariate equation. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of things going into it.
Yeah. There's never a right answer.
Yeah.
And like, even if there was, there's not just one right answer. You can only answer all that stuff in retrospect, or like hindsight 2020. But and so didn't you start selling on eBay like at first when you guys were closing down the restaurant?
Yeah, but that was just to kind of get rid of stuff and just like give myself something to do that felt productive while I was also taking care of the kids. So I was able to do it from my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a question I have not asked you yet. And as far as I can remember in all your videos, watch every single one, I don't remember you ever talking about like your emotions surrounding the closing of the restaurant, at least like super in depth. Like how like did that actually like feel to close down the last of the restaurant venture?
Oh man, I got a sick feeling in my stomach a little bit. I felt like the main feeling was like I was disappointing people. Like, first of all, our employees, like we had like 12 to 15 people at that point that were depending on us for the full-time jobs. And then we had to be like, we're closing, and here's some contact info. Our buddy who has this restaurant said he might have an opening, so we'll try to get you connected. Like, and we have this much lead time, so hopefully it gives you some time. And we did our best, but like it was horrible. Like when you're like giving a job interview, you're not imagining yourself in 2 years coming to them and being like, okay, all those promises I made to you on that job interview of like, we're going to be able to provide this as an employer and this, and like, sorry, we messed up, and now that paycheck is not coming in anymore. Like, the job that you might even enjoy and not want to stop is stopping, and it's like totally out of your control. And then of course the customers too, and the sad messages of like, we were providing food for people that often couldn't eat at a lot of other restaurants. Like, we were like fully gluten-free and dairy-free, and so there were a lot of people that didn't trust eating at other restaurants. And like, our fryer never had gluten in it, so people could eat fried chicken tenders for the first time in a long time. And yeah, so just like kind of felt like a disappointment, honestly. And that was the first feeling. And then relief, because it was hard and it was time. And when we went on vacation, we went on a family vacation towards the end, and that was when we realized like, oh, we are running at a 9 out of 10 every day with the restaurant and the demands, and we're out of paper cups at medium size, and we got to go pick those things up. And fresh avocados, they didn't have them, so we have to go pick those up from the other store. And just like, like you're like literally running a restaurant. It's like not a joke. It's a lot of moving parts. And for that to all just like go quiet was honestly a relief once we closed, but just so much complicated negotiating on the way. It was a hard transition for sure. And and a lot of uncertainty. I did a lot of delivering for DoorDash and Uber Eats to make money. Like now, even though like we had a little bit of money for a runway, and maybe it would have been better if I was just focusing all my attention on eBay. eBay's tricky because you can put a lot of listings in, especially in the beginning when you don't really know what you're doing. You're not going to get a lot of sales necessarily, maybe for a while, depending on the sell-through rate. It's not like I was listing all home runs. So it was hard when you see a low sales day, and it's like, well, do I list items to try to make $100 or $200 maybe, or I can go do Uber Eats and DoorDash and definitely make like $100 if I just put like a good 4 or 5 hours in. And so yeah, and a lot of times that's what I would do. And so yeah, it was a lot of uncertainty, and then just like slowly trusting the process, just like keeping at it, and you just with enough, you just keep getting up and like delisting items and redonating them or donating them to a different spot and be like, okay, we'll never listing that again. Nobody bought that, even for like 99 cents plus shipping. Yeah, it's just like a lot of learning along the way. And just grateful that we had a little bit of financial runway to like make some mistakes early on. It wasn't like catastrophic, that I wasn't like fully full-time eBay right away. It's hard to get up and running and to like know what you should be spending your time doing.
So do you think that experience of like, trying to like take care of those employees after shutting down, is that where like your profit first mentality comes from, do you think?
A little bit. I think I actually, I mean, I would have employees again. I loved hanging out with them. And they were all just like the most amazing people. Like so many of them came to our wedding and like helped us plan and execute. And just like we made so many amazing connections. I loved hanging out with them, but it was stressful behind the scenes because I felt like that we were always running it way too close money wise. And so I think I would just do it differently. If it was again, it would be profit first, and I would have a ton of money already set aside for anyone if I ever wanted to bring them on to just like make sure that there's some stability there. So I think it'd be different. I wouldn't just be like bringing people on and be like, hey, we're growth first, we're gonna do this. We got the proof of concept. I know we can do it, and we can, and like I think you can kind of figure it out. But like I'm a lot more careful with other people's careers at this point. Like I'm not just like, hey, come on board and we'll figure it out as we go. I'm like, no, like here's the system. I think I'm ready for a specialist to come on board. Would be the thing again. I think I'd be wanting to pay a lot more. It'd be a lot of a different kind of a job that I'd want in my business at this point.
Okay, so you're not even closed off to employees at this point.
I mean, I'm not. I have zero plans, but I'm not closed off. It would just have to be a whole different situation. There was one situation I remember in recent memory of like a close family friend who I like totally trusted. I would like trust with my kids, and they might have needed a little bit of a job in the interim. And I was like, I could come up with some jobs if you want. If I could come up with like 4 hours of like, can you process these cables, these controllers, wrap it up, do this thing, sort it into these bins. If it's obviously broken or not obviously broken, I'll take it from there. And I could set up jobs for somebody that I trust. So I was considering it. I was like, that'd be fun. And like, it'd be fun to have an extra person around, maybe for Heather to talk to as well. So it would have to be like a really unique situation of like, at this point, somebody that I'd want in my house, probably. Like, it'd have to be like really, really special. And like, there was one moment where I was like, I would consider it. And like, it ended up like not being a real situation at all. But like, I've considered it before.
Okay. So
how about you? Do you have any employee aspirations like in the future?
I've always been like against it in my head, but as I've been like reflecting on like this past and thinking about like how do I grow now I'm really not as against it. Like especially as I've been training Jasmine, it's my fiance if you didn't know. It's just been like nothing but good so far. Like I think I do worry a lot about tons of things. So I'm starting to think I just worried about it too much. And I'm a lot more open to the idea now. I think I'd have a lot of, like, with where I'm starting at right now, I have a lot, like, more growth to hit before I get to the point of adding someone on. But I don't view it so, like, far out of reach or so unrealistic that I just dismiss it. Like, I think I could actually sit down and, like, make a plan of, like, how it'd work, what I'd want them to do, what it'd look like. So it's actually something that's realistic to me at this point. So,
Bro, have you heard about Elon Musk's latest job, his latest company that he's thinking about starting with the robots in every home, basically? Like, I'll be so excited. His latest thing is he wants like these android robots with artificial intelligence built into their brains. He wants the main thing is them to have fully articulating hands with fingers because the world is built for people who have hands with fingers. And it would just unlock everything for them. And already my mind was like eBay employee, like, and he wants it to be $30,000 to $40,000, like the cost of like a mid-sized car, and he wants to have replaceable parts. It's actually really fascinating. Like I don't necessarily want to buy it from him, but like if he's just like building that proof of concept, my mind's already going like, all right, a couple of years from now, Elon, see what we got.
That'd be so cool.
I know.
Have a picture robot.
Yeah, but ChatGPT built into the brain or something similar, and like be like, hey, next time you got to be more careful when you're wrapping those cables. And it's like, okay, like I don't know, it's weird, man. The future's like looking more and more like cyberpunk for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say like some Jetson stuff. Don't they have like a robot like maid or something?
That's the first thing I thought. I was telling my dad about it. I was like, it's just we're like the Jetsons. Before you know it, that's like gonna be our reality.
Yeah. They're testing flying taxis in LA, weren't they?
I don't know. Really?
I think so. I think they're like trying to get it like up and going for the Olympics or something.
Oh, awesome. Creepy. Very cool.
I don't know.
Well, this has been so fun, man. This has been great.
Yeah.
First podcast.
Yeah. I I cannot understate how much I love this topic. Like, I really can't. I think we need to circle back to it again at some point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to help other people through this yet. Like, I feel like there's so much like uncover about yourself. I don't know. So
maybe we could ask in the comments if anybody wants to leave a comment. Like, what was your reseller childhood? Like, how did that shape the kind of reseller that you are? I'd be really fascinated. I think we could talk about it more in the future. Yeah.
It's like, this is not anything I've never seen anyone talk about this. I've never talked to anyone about this. So I don't even know what this looks like for other people yet. But like, I want to know like, what was like your financial situation like in your personal life when you started reselling? Like, were you going through some like intense personal loss or something? Did you have a terrible boss that like abused you or something? And like, how, maybe how did that inform your decisions when you were first starting? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Any unhealthy behaviors we can cut off, man? Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Should we tease next week's topic?
Oh, we can do that. Did we pick one?
Maybe we didn't pick one. Maybe it'll be a surprise.
I think we've got multiple.
Yeah. All right. It'll be a surprise. We'll talk about it. That's the tease.
Yes,
all right, bro. Thank you for joining me on podcast 1. Actually, reselling with Ethan and Joe. Any final words?
I don't think so. Maybe I'll cut down the. We'll get to the reselling part sooner next time. Maybe.
Oh, I think this is what people should. I mean, maybe. Let us know in the comments. Was that too much random chatter?
If week 1, we're all right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff, but I think it was reselling related in the service of a healthy reselling life. I think, which involves more than just listing items.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Awesome. Thank you for joining me. Let's do this again soon.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right. Nice talking to you always.